From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite. And in Washington, Dan Rather, Roger Mudd, Fred Graham, Marvin Kalb, Peter Kalischer in Syria, Dean Braylis in Syria, and Tom Fenton in the Sinai.
Good evening. President Nixon has chosen his new vice president, subject, of course, to congressional approval. Mr. Nixon will name him tonight in a televised address to the nation. Although the aftermath of the Agnew case dominates the news, there has been a major development in the Watergate scandal, too. The U.S. Court of Appeals ruled against the president in his fight to keep the White House tape secret. We'll have the details of that later, but first let's hear from Dan Rather on the story of the vice presidential nominee.
As presidential aides tell the story, the president made his decision alone, at dawn, at his Camp David, Maryland mountain retreat. He chose, so the story goes, from among 5 finalists. Many people in both parties continue to believe the president really has had his mind made up for days, if not weeks, but the White House emphatically denies this. Whoever the choice is, the person still may not know. The president, it is said, did not intend to call his choice until shortly before his address to the nation tonight. The president invited members of Congress, his cabinet, the diplomatic corps, and the Supreme Court to hear the announcement in the East Room. The Supreme Court declined the invitation, saying that it might appear to be inappropriate to attend. Whether the person chosen is to be in that room tonight is officially unknown. Others believe that he will be in the room. It's been a long while since Washington has had such a well-kept political secret, and almost as long since the town has been so filled with rumors on any one subject. The president was reported to have said privately today, "My choice may be somewhat of a surprise to some," but it was unclear as to whether he meant the name would be a surprise or meant something else. If anyone other than the president knows the name of the nominee, it is not apparent. Even Mrs. Nixon said this afternoon she didn't know. Dan Rather, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News will cover the president's address live beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, to be followed immediately by a special report on the selection. The 6-year-old 25th Amendment requires that the House and the Senate, by majority votes, approve the president's choice. But since the matter has never come up before, there was considerable wrangling in the Senate today over how to proceed. The House avoided that hassle by deciding to work through its Judiciary Committee. Roger Mudd reports.
The Senate was at its dazzling best today, unable to agree precisely on how to handle the vice presidential nomination. First, the Senate's happy but divided Democrats caucused. Moss of Utah moved that the nomination be sent to the Senate's Rules Committee. Cranston of California offered an amendment adding 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans to the committee to give it extra luster and prestige. Then Hollings of South Carolina amended the amendment, adding just 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. The caucus accepted the Hollings amendment, 24-20. Then it accepted the Moss resolution as amended, 24-20. And then someone moved that the 24-20 vote be made unanimous. And the vote making the vote unanimous carried 28-11. But then the Republicans refused to go along, fearing that the Democrats added to the Rules Committee might turn out to be liberal troublemakers. The whole issue went to the Senate floor, where it quickly became apparent that the enlarged Rules Committee plan would not pass. Democratic liberals, knowing that they were beaten, prevented a vote until tomorrow, when they will know the name of the vice presidential nominee. His identity, figure the liberals, could change some votes. During one fast exchange today, Allen of Alabama called the Senate's predicament utterly ridiculous. Assistant Democratic leader Byrd was so offended that Allen got unanimous consent to change it to utterly illogical. Roger Mudd, CBS News, Washington.
In a telegram to the congressional leadership today, CBS President Arthur Taylor urged that the committee action and the floor debate on the vice presidential nominee be open to live television coverage. Calling it an event of great historic importance, Taylor said, "Only through the eyes of television cameras can the public across the nation witness the performance of their elected representatives in meeting their grave constitutional duties."
Perhaps once or twice in a lifetime, there comes an invention so radical and new, it actually changes the way we live our lives. Television was one. Now Polaroid invents the SX-70.